Hi everyone, and welcome to my webinar for Teachit languages around remote learning and how to keep students engaged during the pandemic. My name is Joe Dale. I'm a former languages teacher. I taught for 3 years at secondary school level and then 10 years at middle school level on the Isle of Wight, which is where I still live, and have lived here for over 20 years. For the last 10 years or so, I've been an independent languages consultant, and I normally make a living by travelling around the world, running training on the use of technology to enhance language learning, as well as across the curriculum. And I've been to places like Australia, New Zealand, North America, all over Europe, the Middle East, South America, you name it, I've been there. My Twitter handle is @JoeDale. As you can see on the slide there, I have now over 31,500 followers, which is a little bit crazy. But if you're not following me and you'd like to, feel free to do so. I'm more than happy to retweet any messages for you, or you can send me a direct message after this webinar if you'd like to ask me more advice around the use of technology during the pandemic. You can imagine I've been everyone's best friend recently. My email address is joedale@talk21.com. Likewise, if you want to send me an email, then that's absolutely fine, and it'd be my pleasure to help. Okay, so let's get started. So in this webinar, I'm going to go through a number of different free web tools and resources which you can use for practicing language learning in a remote or hybrid teaching context. Some of them you may know about, some of them you may not have heard about, but even if you know about some of the tools, hopefully I'll be able to show you a few tips and tricks that you haven't thought about. This webinar should run for about 30 minutes or so. Let's see how we get on. So a little bit more about me. I'm not going to read this out now, you can read this in your own time, but as you can see, I've been really passionate about the use of technology to enhance language learning, and I've done many different activities as a classroom teacher as well as a consultant, and you get a flavour there of all the different people that I've worked with over the years, and it's my pleasure to do so. I'm also, according to the Guardian article, the man behind the MFL Twitterati. So if you haven't heard of the MFL Twitterati, it's a community of language teachers, language consultants like myself, and language organisations. And I really feel that during the pandemic, one of the silver linings of the pandemic has been the fact that the MFL Twitterati has been unbelievably helpful in sharing resources with each other and supporting each other during these very difficult times. Okay, so this is what we're going to cover in the 30 minutes or so of the webinar. I'm going to start off by talking about the Tilt webinar series, which I have created in conjunction with the Association for Language Learning, and in particular Helen Myers, who's the chair of the London branch of the Association for Language Learning. We're then going to look at a couple of speaking tools which are good for remote and hybrid contexts, Vocaro and Speakpipe. Then Wheel of Names, which can also be used for speaking or writing activities or translation activities. Classroom Screen, which is perfect for learning in a hybrid context or remote context. And finally, we'll finish with Quicker, which is really good for speaking practice, whereby you can use it for practicing dialogues and so on and so forth. As you know, you're going to be getting this presentation as well, so you'll be able to have a look at it as a standalone resource in conjunction with the video. So Tilt stands for Technology and Language Teaching. Back in March of last year, I decided, along with my friend Helen Myers from the Association for Language Learning, that we would start putting together webinars to support the community. So as of March of last year, we started, and we've done well over 100 webinars, all of which are available for free, and they are appropriate for remote and hybrid teaching ideas. I was sort of like the chief scout, if you like, so I went into my contact book or on Twitter and contacted lots and lots of different teachers from places like the States, Australia, Europe, the Middle East, here, there and everywhere. South America as well. Actually, we had someone from Brazil, and they all shared their ideas for free about how they were coping with the situation and sharing their ideas on the use of technology to support language teachers and language teaching. You can see that they're available via the AWL London website, as well as my YouTube channel and Helen's YouTube channel. I'm just going to quickly come out of my presentation just to give you a flavour of what this actually looks like. So this is the AWL London branch website. So just do a search for AWL London webinars, you'll find them, and you'll see here these are the forthcoming ones as of the time of recording. So some of them are Tilt webinars and some of them are just the ones that AWL London are organising. But here, for example, we've got Enaida Garcia Villanueva, who's going to be talking about translanguaging, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think, on April the 3rd. We've got Sarah Bell, who's the head of department at Inverclyde Academy up near Glasgow, who's going to be talking about her experience of teaching and learning through the lockdown. Ellie Shettle-Cully, who is going to be doing a webinar around special educational needs and primary language learning, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then Shiva Ramani, who comes from the States, and she's a university lecturer, and she's going to be talking about games-based learning, in particular Jamboard. So there's lots of things to look forward to. But also if we go further down, these are all the archives. So you just get a flavour of all the different sessions that have happened since March of last year. Absolutely incredible. A huge amount of work, but all available absolutely for free for everybody who wants to access them, not just AWL members, but anybody at all. So there we are. That's how that one works. Let's go on to the next tool. Right, so the next tool is Vocaro. Now, probably a lot of you know about Vocaro, but I must say, out of all the tools I hear about to do with speaking listening skills, I think that Vocaro is the one which is probably mentioned the most because of the fact it's really easy to use. It doesn't require any logins from the students. They can just literally hit record and send the link straight to the teacher, or they can also export their audio as a QR code, which is useful as well. You can also download the audio to keep it forever because the audio is deleted after 3 months. And it's unlimited in the recording length. So let's have a go now to see how easy it is to use. This is the website, vocaro.com. All I have to do is click record like this, and away we go. Okay, so vocaro.com is a free recording service which works on all devices, laptops, Chromebooks, Macs, iPads, Android devices, iPhones, etc. You can record your audio, which uploads onto the Vocaro servers and is available via a link for up to 3 months. After that, it's then deleted, but you can always download it at any moment that you would like. So you can use this obviously for practicing speaking, possibly dialogue work if you had 2 people at the same time, but if you just wanted to use it for speaking, then that would be absolutely fine. And let's stop now. Okay, so there we are. You can listen back to it like this. Okay, so vocaro.com is a free recording service which works on all devices, etc. I can start again, redo. I can then click save and share. As you can see here, I can generate a QR code if I wanted to. I could then click save QR code, and some people are using Vocaro as a way of making digital praise postcards, whereby they have a postcard that they've designed using Google Slides or Keynote or PowerPoint. They add in the voiceover praising a student's work, and then they then print off the document, or they export it as an image or as a PDF and send it to the student. That's a really nice idea. You can download it just by clicking here, the download option. You can delete it and start again, but you can also click the copy option here, and then you can just send it straight to the teacher. You could email it or just send it via Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom, whatever you're using, which is really, really handy, I think. Another idea is if you're using, for example, a Google form or a Microsoft form, and you've created a short answer option, you can also ask the students to paste that link into that short answer option, and that's a quick and easy way of collecting all the links all in the one space, as say a speaking homework, and then you can then listen to them back and then give feedback appropriately, which could also be another audio file if you wanted it to be. So that's really, really nice and easy and straightforward, and that's how that one works. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. A similar tool to Vocaro is Speakpipe Voice Recorder. Like Vocaro, it's easy to use. It doesn't require an account to log in, which is fantastic. It works on all devices, including iPads, iPhones, Android phones, etc. You get to share the audio via a link, as you can with Vocaro. You can download the audio, and like with Vocaro as well, the audio is automatically deleted after 3 months. The main difference between Vocaro and Speakpipe is the fact that with Speakpipe, you are limited to 5 minutes of recording time, but I think that's plenty of time in most cases in the modern languages classroom or at home. So this is what the website looks like. If I go here, you can see that it's speakpipe.com/voice recorder. You just hit start recording and away you go. Okay, so you can see I can record for up to 5 minutes of audio, which is fantastic. Once I'm ready to stop, I'd simply hit stop. I can reset and start again if I want to, but if I'm happy with what I've recorded, I can click get a link. Okay, here is where I put in my name if I want to, but as you can see it says it's optional. You don't have to do that. You could just leave it as blank and click get a link. So that's good from an e-safety point of view as well. So having clicked get a link, you can then, as a student, you can simply select the link that's generated, copy it, and then share it with a teacher via the learning management system that you're using, be it Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, Show My Homework, etc. Or what you can do as the teacher, having received this link, you can click on this option here, open in a new window, like this. And that allows you to then download that audio and then keep it permanently and upload it to, say, Google Drive, OneDrive, etc. So that's really, really nice from that point of view. So those are two really good options, I think, Vocaro and Speakpipe, for practicing recording at home, for speaking homeworks, for listening activities, and so on and so forth. Let's go back to my presentation and go on to the next idea. So the next tool is called Wheel of Names, which is quite different. It can be used for speaking skills, but it can be used in a remote or a hybrid teaching context, and it's not for recording, it's for practicing. You can also use it for writing as well. So again, it's easy to use, it works on all devices, it's good for inputting small bits of language, which could be names, but it also could be chunks or sentence starters or subject pronouns or infinitives. It can be used as a name picker, which I'll show you in a second. You can also add images to your wheel, which is fantastic, and you can save and share the wheels as well. So if I go to here, you can see what it looks like. So this is the default wheel that you get. So if I now spin the wheel, it will then choose one of these people randomly. Let's see who it's going to be. It's going to be Beatrice, okay? So as you could hear, you had some sound in the background there. You also had the confetti, which you can remove if you want to. You can also remove the person who's been selected, and you can change where it says we have a winner. You can change that into the target language if you want to. So if I click remove, that person will then be removed from the wheel, which is great. If I want to start my own wheel, I can either click new, or I can simply delete the content which is in the room, and then I could start putting in different names such as John, Paul, George, Ringo. I'm sure you recognize those names. And again, I can just spin in the way that I've said. If I want to click on customize, like this, I can select the during spin option, and I can get rid of that ticking sound. So if I want to have no sound, I just do that. I can also choose how long the wheel spins for, so it could be as little as, say, 5 seconds. You can see that essentially it's unlimited the number of names you can have on the wheel, so it can be up to 1,000, which is obviously a bit crazy, but certainly you could have, say, 30, no problem at all, and you can save each wheel automatically, which I'll show you how to do in a second. If I click here where it says after spin, I can also get rid of that sound there as well, and I can get rid of the launching the confetti if you don't like that. And this is where you can change the we have a winner into an expression in the target language that you prefer. So then I click OK. So there we are. Now, if I want to share this wheel, that's really easy. You just click the share option, you click continue, you click continue again, and now it generates a link, and you can now bookmark that link, and whenever you need that for your class, you just bring it up and away you go if you want to pick someone randomly for your class for such and such an activity. If you have a Google account, you can click on the save option. You can log in. I'm not going to do this right now, but you can log in and you can actually save your wheels so they're part of your account, which is another possibility, but you don't need to do that if you don't want to. Another idea is you can click on the add image. So if we want to generate an image, a nice little website for doing that is called autodraw.com. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to click here where it says start over, and I'm going to recreate this picture of a cat. So if I click here, for example, and click the black color, and I try to draw something, so I'm going to try to draw a cat with a mouse, which is not the easiest thing to do, and you'll see at the top of the screen what's happening is it's generating professional looking bits of clip art, which are supposed to represent what this is supposed to be. So at the moment, using artificial intelligence, Google, who make this tool, think that this might be an American football helmet, it might be a t-shirt, it might be a rabbit, it might be a crown, but of course it's supposed to be a cat, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So I can now select that, I can make it bigger like this, I can also color it in if I wanted to. So I could, for example, click the fill tool, choose my color, and then select the cat like this, and it now goes yellow. To download that image, I simply click the three lines here and click download. It then downloads the image like this. There we are, there it is, and then I can then from there go back to Wheel of Names, and I can click add image like this, and then I can then go down and I could select, there we are, select the picture, and there it is, and that now forms part of my wheel. So if I only had images here, that would be easy to do. Another place to get nice images is Photos for Class.com. There we are, photosforclass.com, and here we can put in a search. So if I were to put in France like that and click find photos, this will then come up. As you can see, we've got these different images which are here, which is fantastic. If I click download like this and click save, if I then launch that just to show you how it looks, you can see that the attribution is added automatically to the bottom of the picture. So this is really nice. So it means that legally you're allowed to use these pictures, no problem at all, and that's fantastic. So if I now go out of that, I go back to Wheel of Names, I click add image, and then I find the image which is here, click open, there it is, and again you've got that image there. So again, these could be different images that you're using instead of using text. Okay, that's lovely. So the next thing we're going to do is look at how you can then also split the screen. So if I have a window like this, and I can have a window here and a window here, I can then spin the wheel here, spin the wheel here. They will both spin at the same time, and then whatever comes up can be the inspiration for my activity. So for example, if I have sentence starters here, or I had subject pronouns here, and then I have an infinitive here, I could then ask the students to then conjugate that verb, or I could use this as a way of using items in a sentence builder to build up a sentence using different items from this wheel here and different items from this wheel here. So that's another way of doing the same sort of thing. So Wheel of Names is really, really handy, I think, for lots and lots of different activities. Let's just go back to here and make sure we've covered, there we are, everything we wanted to cover. That's fine. Another way of splitting your screen is using the Chrome extensions Dualus or Tab Resize. Okay, let's carry on. Right, another web tool that you can use is called classroomscreen.com. This is really great for pulling together all the different items that you need within a lesson. So you can have, for example, a random name picker, you can have dice, you can embed media, and so on and so forth. So with that in mind, if I click here and I copy the link again, so I click share, continue, continue, and copy, and I go to here, which is Classroom Screen. This is what it looks like, and you click Launch Classroom Screen. Then, okay, this is what it looks like. As you can see here, you've got this sort of random background image. If I want to change the background image, that's simple to do. All I have to do is click the background option here, and I can choose one of these ones here, or I can choose a local background. So if I click on the local background, I can then choose a picture like this one that we've downloaded, and there we are. And as a result of that, it will now suddenly change by me clicking on it, and there we are. Okay, so now what I could do is I can add different items. So if I want, for example, a random name, I can then put this in here like this. So I could put in again John, Paul, George, Ringo, and then I can click choose. And then what will happen is it will then pick up one of these names randomly. So you can use that for names, but you can also use that for language. So you could use it for, say, infinitive or subject pronouns, whatever it is that you want to do. Another thing that you can do is click the media option, which is here, and you can add in an image. So for example, if I click image and I drag and drop a picture, I could again find a picture I want to use. So for example, I could choose the one with the cat again. So this one. There we are, we've got that image there. You can resize the image so it fits nicely on the screen. So that could be maybe some instructions, or maybe modeling a paragraph, a piece of work. I can also click here, click media again. I could click embed, and I can paste in the link to my Wheel of Names like this and click open website. Okay, and then that will then create this activity, and I can now resize that, can you see, to fit it however I want it to fit on the screen. So it's really, really nice the way in which you can then put the different items that you want on the screen exactly where you want them to go, and so on and so forth. So by doing that, you could then choose someone to do an activity around a picture, or maybe, as I said, you could have sort of sentence starters or whatever it is that you want to do. You've got some other things as well. You can click on the draw option. So then you can then draw a little picture as well if you wanted to. So you could obviously just draw on the screen like this, a little stick man. Okay, and then you could then do some activities on this. You could then maybe, I don't know, add a speech bubble or something, whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, you've got the sound level option as well, which means that if the class is too loud, then this will be picked up here. So that's also nice as well. You can add in a QR code if there's a website you want to share. That's easy. So for example, if I take the wheel of names again here and I click in there and I paste that in, as you can see, that's the wheel of names. I can now make that bigger, and I can ask everybody to scan that QR code to take them to the website I want them to go to. So as I said, really nice for remote teaching or hybrid teaching, and we could just go from there. So those are the main things. You've also got other ideas like the timer, the stopwatch. That's obviously useful as well for timed activities, and everything else is pretty self-explanatory. So Classroom Screen, again, I think is a really nice tool for use in a hybrid or a remote teaching context. Okay, let's go back, and then let's go to the next one, and the last one is Quicker.education. This is really nice for speaking practice and for audio feedback. So I'm going to go here. For this one, you do need an account. So fortunately, I've already created an account. I'm already logged in, but the students don't need an account. And what you can then do is you can click here where it says create instant feedback. So if I do that now, I can either record some audio this way by clicking on the microphone icon, or I can record the conversation. So let's do both. If I click here like that, and I can record my voice like this. This is an example of an individual audio QR code. So I click stop. It uploads onto the servers, and then from there I click view your Quicker. Okay, there's my audio, and I can now share that however I would like to share it. I could take that link like this, click copy, and I could go to another website such as this one, QR Code Monkey, and I could turn that into a QR code like this. Okay, having done that, I click download PNG. It then downloads the QR code, and by scanning that QR code, it will then take me to that page so I can then listen to the audio. So this is a way of giving audio feedback if you want to, like that. So there's my QR code. Another option is if I go back to here and I go to the home page again, I can click print QR code stickers. So this way I can click generate stickers, and this actually generates a whole PDF, which is just about, there we are, it's just coming up now. So I click download, it's a whole PDF of different QR codes. So if I click here right now, once it's loaded, as you can see, I've got all these different QR codes here, and all I have to do now is just simply zoom in to say this one, and then with my iPad I could then launch my camera like this is what I'm going to do right now. So here's my iPad, I scan the QR code like this, okay, I tap on the notification option here, and it allows me to record. So I now click on the blue circle with the white microphone in it. I do need to sign in for this, which I'll do right now. So that's simple and straightforward to do. Having done that, I can then record my audio, and here we are. So just as I showed you a moment ago, I'm now doing this on my iPad. So I tap record and allow, blah, 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 blah. This is an example of some audio which I'm recording using Quicker on my iPad. Then you tap stop. There we are. And it's worked. So now I tap view your Quicker on my iPad, and I can now see it. That means now if anyone were to scan that QR code you will be able to hear that audio back. So that's how you do individual QR codes, and then you can then print off the QR code PDF, cut them up and stick them into the books. But in a remote teaching context or a hybrid teaching context, that's not ideal. You don't want to be playing around with bits of paper that lots of people are touching. So instead of doing that, what I would recommend is to go back to here and clicking on the Create Instant Feedback option instead, and this time clicking here to start a quicker conversation. So this time again, as before, you can put in a title or a tag to help you organize your recordings. You can record your audio here like this. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. This is the first line of my dialogue, or it could be giving a presentation, or it could be giving the learning objectives for the lesson, but using my voice as opposed to text for once. So I click stop. There it is. I can now delete that. I can right click it and I can save the audio if I want to. Again, as with Vocaro and with Speakpipe, the audio is deleted after 3 months. But if you want to keep it longer than that, you can. In this case, you can actually pay, I think, something like £1.50 a month to keep it permanently there. You can take a photo. So if you were doing a photo card activity, then you could then have that photo as the stimulus. You can add in text, which could be instructions, or you can add in a web link, which allows you to send them off to a web page for them to then record some audio about. Here you've got choose allowed response type, so I can get rid of all of these if I want to and just have the microphone one selected, which means all the students will see is the microphone, which makes it nice and easy for them. And what I particularly like is this option, which is moderating the conversation. So I now click start your quicker conversation. It comes up like this. I can listen back to the audio that I recorded like this. Blah, 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 blah. This is the first line of my dialogue. There we are. And now if what I can do is I can copy this link like this, and I can paste it into the chat in a Zoom call or a Teams call or wherever I want to share it in a Microsoft Teams channel. And all the students then do is they click on that link, and like before, they get the opportunity of being able to scan a QR code, or they can click on the link. So if I want, for example, to create this opportunity here to show you how it works on my iPad, I can scan the QR code, tap on the notifications option, and now tap record on the microphone and hit record. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. This is line 2 of my conversation, just to show you how you can use this as a way of practicing a dialogue or conversation using Quicker completely for free. So I now tap stop. That's uploading onto the servers. It's about to appear on the screen. If I was doing this with other people, obviously I would encourage you to then record your audio as well. There it is. If I press play now, you'll be able to hear it through the video. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. This is line 2 of my conversation. Okay, and so on and so forth. So then the students can then record their answers or the next line of the dialogue, and you have the whole thing all in one space via one link, which is fantastic. When the students have finished recording, then you can then click here, the padlock, and that will allow you to lock the conversation like this. That means that that link will no longer be valid. You will not be able to, or you'll be able to go to the link, but you'll not be able to record any more audio to add to the link. So that's also really good from a moderation point of view as well, which is fantastic. So that's Quicker, either using it for practicing conversations or for individual links, individual audio feedback if you prefer. Okay, let's go back to my presentation, and there we are, remote learning and how to keep students engaged. I hope you found this presentation useful. It should work in conjunction with the PowerPoint that I've shared with you as well. So you've got the recording and the PowerPoint, and I do wish you the best of luck with these ideas. If you get stuck at all, just send me a message via Twitter, via email, and I will try my best to help. Good luck everyone, and I hope you found this presentation useful.